Well, hello, everybody. Happy Mead Quest Monday. Hope you're all doing great, or better than I am at least. Was doing? I don't know, I'm doing pretty good now that the stream's up and going pretty well. I had a Monday. And yeah. YouTube was also having a Monday apparently. It might still be. Ugh. Can you tell me if my video is doing weird stuff like still dropping frames, or is it just me? Because to me it's dropping a lot of frames. And going all choppy. Okay, maybe it's just me. Maybe it's dropping on the way to me. I don't know. Okay. I will accept it. I will accept it. But how's everyone doing? Welcome on in. Top tier shirt? Oh yeah, absolutely. This is my I'm just chillaxing shirt. It's actually one of those moisture wicking gym shirts. I just put it on because, well, it's toasty here and kind of humid out. Florida's got a little bit of a tropical storm rolling through. Maybe the game will start chugging. Well, not to me anyway. The game is doing pretty alright. Like, everything looks good to me on my end. It's literally just YouTube. I'm looking at the stats on YouTube and it's dropping like... So far it's dropped 5,000 out of 32,000 frames. And it was doing great until I was like, alright guys, let's go, when I hit go live. Or not go live, but I changed over to me being here instead of it just being the countdown. Is it looking rough now? Bootaloo? Is that where the oof came from? Okay, okay. 5k was oof, yeah, okay, so yeah, it's just dropping on my end on the way out. Not sure why, it's kind of weird. Let me change my quality. Maybe it's because I have the quality turned down. Nope. YouTube just doesn't like my connection right now, so... At least as a viewer. Which is really strange, right? I mean, that's better. I just refreshed and it did better now. Okay. Hey, I'm not gonna worry about it. The game seems low framed? That could be an issue. It's also nighttime right now too. So it might just be from that. The flowers do weird things sometimes. Alright, Chibi, let me take care of that real quick here. Maybe that's something I gotta fix up real quick. For sure. Doom, doo, doo, doom. All right, got that. What are you doing yelling at me? Get away. Okay. Not that one. That one. There we are. Nope. Go back. Maybe anyway. Okay. Wow. Alright. So I think you gotta go listen to some audiobooks. Head is pounding. Okay, hey, no worries, no worries. Thanks for stopping by at all. It's much appreciated. Always appreciate the company. I'm sorry the beginning here was a little bit of a rough start. But take care, rest your head. So folks, the decision's up to you. We can be chatting ashes while finding good scenery in Hogwarts, or are we gonna play in Hogwarts while maybe occasionally chatting ashes? Okay, hey, there we go. Okay, it's coming through now there, Chibi. I got it fixed. I got it fixed. So turn this off so I can see that better. Cool, 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 cool. And hey there, AVE Gaming, how are you tonight? Hope you're having a fantastic Monday. Hopefully a better start than my Monday was, or start of my evening it was anyway. The start of the day was pretty easy. The middle of the day was rough. The beginning of the evening was rough, but the rest of it should be going pretty alright. I know I was curious if there were going to be a bunch of people stopping by to chat Bard things, or if people were kind of chatted out about it for right now, and I was just going to Hogwarts. How are you feeling about it? Nice rain? Yeah. I mean, it's, well, I don't want to say it's been nice rain, but it's been rain outside here for sure. Got that little bit of a tropical storm rolling through. Hey! I'll talk Bard. We can talk some Bard. Well, what are you thinking about the Bard? Are you, has anything been standing out to you? Anything crazy great, crazy awkward, crazy bad? Okay, yeah. I saw there was Quirion on. I saw Zillion on. I think that was all in the Ashes category I saw. We've got them on in the background. I mean, there's Tankologist, but he's playing a different game. And not sure what he's up to. He's walking and talking. Walking and talking. Bard Tank Siren is about. Oh, you and me both. I have been wondering that question for the longest time. So the oldest word that I have confirming anything is that anything with tank in it, be it a secondary or primary, is able to be a quote-unquote viable tank. But the word viable is a little tricky, because you can be viable to tank some ads while you're running around the forest. You could be viable to maybe tank some trash in the dungeon, but you may not be viable for that dungeon or raid boss or raid trash, depending on how you're spec'd out and what combination you are. But it was confirmed like years ago, I think like 5 years ago at this point, 6 years, something in there. I want to say 5 years ago, that something with tank as a secondary would be viable. Because you're calling people to their doom. That's why. I mean, I'd be curious to see. That's all I got. That's all I got. But yeah, if you can take the Bard's AoE and add on some of the tank features or themes, like you take the AoE damage skill that Bard has, right? The one that makes them take extra damage. Then you also add on the tank thing where it like trips them, stuns them, staggers them, makes sure that they can't damage anything else but you as much. Any of those features, that would be a nice killer combo. So you get the Bard adding adding extra damage to all the enemies in the range, and then you also get them not being able to do as much damage to anybody but you. It's going to make you a target, and as a bard that may or may not be the best thing. But gear up with some heavy armor or something so you can take a good thumping and you should be alright, I think. Let's see. Yeah, I think, you know what it is with some of these names, I think they just kind of ran out of names and they were like, what should we call this? What should we call this? Well, yeah, that kind of fits the theme in a way. Let's call it that. And AV says, I'm not sure I'll be playing the bard. More of a necro warlock kind of guy. Alright, that's fair, that's fair. So you're pretty much waiting for summoner to come out just to see what happens with that, I bet. And to be honest, I personally believe that because of how the bard came out, with the summoner taking a little bit more time, it's probably going to be pretty impressive.
It's been ages since I've found anything worth poaching near Cragcroft.
The way they made the bard very thematic and very dynamic, kind of in the way a lot of people were hoping for the bard to come out. Then I'm really eager to see what they do with summoner. Because if they go into the same, if they put the same kind of care into it that they did with bard, it's going to be bananas. Yeah, I have been waiting forever, literally since like some of the very earliest announcements, when they even mentioned bard exist, or not bard, but summoner existing, and that it was going to be something different and a little bit more unique than the typical summoner type class that you're used to seeing.
Now, where did I set my traps? Was it lower Hogsmeade?
Oh, are there a lot of people that are talking about doing cleric rogue? Because I know we were definitely talking about that for Chibi.
Bayondale's not half as tough as it sounds.
Because Chibi was talking about doing, well, I was talking about her doing cleric rogue because it kind of fits her playstyle. Jump in, do the Healy thing, and then disappear and get off of everyone's radar. Yeah, I'm not much one for being cookie cutter configuration either. Oh, see, I haven't paid any attention. I'm gonna have to pull that up now because I haven't paid any attention to the class names and combinations. I'll have to check that out. Yeah, I haven't been much for the class names and combinations for cleric. I've just kind of been going along with whatever people say they're choosing and letting them define to me what it is. Just because healers, I love healing, but it's always my secondary choice, right? So I kind of pick everything there after playing tank for a while and seeing what healer type interests me. So yeah, let's see. Cleric, rogue. When a necromancer, necro is summoner cleric. Summoner primary, cleric secondary. Cleric primary with rogue secondary is a shadow disciple. Alright, and Dios is hoping summoner is strongly pet focused, although Final Fantasy XIV summoner ended up being fun. Initially disappointed with how much the style strayed away from 11. You know, I didn't play much of 11. I got into 11 long enough to realize that I didn't like running for a living. Um, and what I mean by that is, hey there, Riptide, how's it going? Welcome back, welcome back. But yeah, Kyo, or Dio, rather, sorry, Dio. The Final Fantasy XI, my experience there is I got in at launch, and I realized that if I need to run for 30 minutes to get to a quest, I finish the quest in 5 minutes and I run 30 minutes back, and they give me another quest to go out to the same place. I was not going to have a fun time. And so I tapped out after my first month of subscription was over. Because there were just too many things like that. I had to take multiple day breaks after a couple quests just because I got tired of it. And I said, it's got to get better. It's got to get better. And I would come back another day and it would be the same thing. I'd run around for an hour to finish 2 quests. And they don't even give like a giant chunk of experience. It was just your everyday, like gives you 5 or 10% of your level type quest. You get more experience from killing mobs in the area than the quest itself. So you may as well just go grind mobs, right? And I did that for a couple hours and got tired of it and dipped out, and then came back and tried it again a couple days later. Yeah, it was killing me. I don't know if they've changed it since then, but yeah, I came in at launch. Unfortunately, I didn't catch that one as like a pre-launch, like alpha or beta or something. But there were people who were in the alphas and betas that came in and they were like max level within 2 days, if not right away. It was crazy. But yeah, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I had to walk away. And it was kind of heartbreaking too, right? Because that was the first Final Fantasy MMO. And I was super psyched up about it. I was playing at the time a game called Priston Tale, which was, I believe it was Korean. Little Korean MMO. And I know that was one of those games where the mods were super active. They were always having events out in the game and always bringing giant monsters into town to try to take it over and doing really fun stuff like that. But it also just, it didn't really fully click with me. It was just fun. Me and my dad used to run around in it. And then Final Fantasy became a thing. They announced that and I jumped right in. And yeah, Ioni. Yeah, the one where you couldn't do anything outside of being in a party. Maybe. I only say maybe because again, I dipped out really early. I didn't even get a month in. But of that month, I only played probably half the time. There were so many times I just got fed up with it and had to walk away. I had to take a couple days and come back. Because I didn't want to give up on a Final Fantasy game. Okay, okay. Yeah, see, that's where I got hooked. I got hooked with the early Final Fantasy stuff. Picking up Final Fantasy 1, 2, 3. I still remember thinking Red Mage was a badass on Final Fantasy 1 and 2. Or was it 2 and 3? I think it was 1 and 2. And then 4 I think was on the Super Nintendo, right? That's when they started to get the little bit better graphics. I think that was the first one I bumped into and remember bumping into that was you had to do certain things at certain times. Like it would actually sense the time of day that you were doing anything. And if you did something at like an even number or an odd number, you'd get an enemy to appear. And if it wasn't within that time frame, or it wasn't an even or odd number, like within a certain hour range, it just wouldn't ever happen. And that to me was just, it was insane. I couldn't believe they would do that with a game. Not like I was upset by it so much as like that's a whole lot of like forethought to put into it, and just betting that people will or won't find that and actually dial in on how they got it. Because some of the bosses to fight for you, heck yeah. That's what that game, that's what the series is all about. You're trying to beat one boss, so you got to go find other bosses. You got to beat them and put them to do your work for you. But maybe that's how's that? So speaking of the summoner, do you think that there should be or should not be class quests, like in-depth class quests to go earn your summons? Or do you feel that there should not be many of those, maybe a couple just to kind of teach you how to do it, but then you need to go out in the world and trap your own summons? Almost like a hunter in World of Warcraft, and then you can summon them? Or do you feel it should be some kind of hybrid, or do you just think it should just be you learn a spell and you summon them from somewhere? Because I've heard a couple different schools of thought between people. And I'm just curious what you folks think. So you don't mind class quests because it gives more immersion? Okay, okay. So for all of them, they should teach you how to go get them? Do you think there should be any hidden summons that you have to go find and trap yourself, or coerce yourself? Or do you think that's just a little bit too laborious for the class? And AV says each race should have a different quest for that class. I mean, that's something akin to why I wish that alts were the game was a little bit more alt friendly, right? Because there's going to be so many different racial quests, and so many different quest lines are going to pop up in different nodes because of the predominant race. But if there is a traditional or recommended or standard issue, whatever you want to call it, starting zone for each race, that probably means there's going to be more of an experience of their culture and their whatever that maybe your race can get more out of when it comes to just learning about what your race is, right? Learn the history of it, learn you know, why they specifically broke apart, because each race probably had their own little governments and all this and that and societies back in the day before they left. So you can find out more about the lore on what happened to each one and what their story was. What caused a divide between Renkai and Vec, you know? How they split apart and what really caused it. Just the change in overall outlook on life, I guess. Because you figure over enough time, just a certain outlook on life would start to change the physical characteristics too, because that would change the, you know, attractive characteristics of, you know, a desired mate, etc. So physicality is going to change over time just purely because of that, if nothing else. But yeah, what caused the initial divide, etc. But if you don't start in every one of those zones and go through all those starter quests, you're never going to learn all that. But if it is going to be so onerous that, you know, your choice matters, etc., and there's going to be no kind of boost for getting alts up, leveled up. And by boost, I don't mean like in a cash shop. I just mean kind of like how Final Fantasy does it. For every one class that you level up, you get a little bit of an experience boost the next time you go to level up. And the farther the distance between the levels, the more of a boost it is. So if you have a level 50, it's going to be a certain amount of experience bonus every time you level up. But then the closer you get to 50, it slows down. But going from level 1 to level 10 is going to go even faster if your top level is like a level 70 or something. It's going to go a lot faster. So something like that. Excuse me. Or even like a really beneficial rested experience. Yeah. Let's see. Each race should have different quests. Builds your appreciation for your character, gives you a reward when you complete. Yeah. And Dio says, I didn't mind either. I'd say class quests for types is fine. I.e. your first, get a DPS pet, then tank, then support. Yep. Says AV, or maybe you can choose since people dislike the restriction. I understand that. And AV says if you're a scholar class, then it could be beneficial to go to do all the quests. Yeah, definitely. That could definitely be a thing. I could see that. If nothing else, at least if you're a scholar class or a scholar type class, then you could benefit from at least going back and getting like the TLDR or TLDQ, the too long didn't quest, just to go and get like the Cliff's Notes version from people, where you don't have to go through as much of it. You just have to play through a little bit of an overview, and then the rest is just revealed, right? But yeah, Dio, with as far as doing the class quest for types is fine. Like the first is DPS, then tank, then support. I was also wondering more along the lines of individual summons, and I only use the word type because, let's say for DPS, you can get you know, you can go and you can get a demon, you can go and you can get a I don't know, let's just say a moose, right? You can go get a tiger, you can go get a bear, you can go get a spirit, a random Varen spirit, and we'll just leave it there because we've seen some of their animals. I have no idea what they would do with their spirits, right? And for each of them, would you want more of a class quest, or would you like more of a hunt and find, or a hide and seek? Like you got to go and find something that's gonna have some kind of an indicator or some kind of a breadcrumb trail you'd need to follow rather, in order to find either that they can be turned into a summon, or to find out where this certain creature is, and then kind of connect the dots that it's also a summonable creature. And yeah, AV, visit their class library, read their lore history. Yeah. And see, that'd be great. But I do like, actually, Dio, since you were saying, yeah, I think it'd be great to do a class quest for the different types. That way it can kind of teach you the ins and outs of how to interact with your chosen summon type for the day. Right? Like these skills work really well when used in this way with this one. And these skills work really well when using it with this type. And these ones are really good with using with these types. See how many other nifty creatures you can find to summon. You know, go dominate the spirit land or the wilds or the whatever, and find your own summonable ally. And build yourself a little summon barn. Start parking them in there. Basil. Yeah. I always thought, you know, thinking back on it, Dio, I always thought also it'd be really nifty if, and this is totally like, I could take it or leave it, but I think it would be a cool feature, right? Is, as you're loading into a game, if you chose to start with a, let's say, tank archetype, right? On your way into the game, because you're coming from a land without magic at all, and you're going to a land with magic, how does somebody learn how to harness magic? It's new to the area, right? Like, how's a mage survive? How does a bard survive? How does anyone who's using magic, a cleric using healing magic, how do they survive? How do they just know from the moment they step through the gate how it works? I thought it might be neat to have almost like a dream sequence type thing, where you are magically introduced, like they almost start like a magical voicemail that you check on your way over, right? Just random terms, but you kind of get what I mean. Like you go from a non-magical place to a magical place through a magical portal, and you just get downloaded into your brain the knowledge of how it functions, how it works, how the world does its thing. And during that time, if you picked a, let's say, tank for your primary, peyote induced vision quest, exactly. See, this guy gets it. But then you get to try all of the different secondary archetypes, just as a almost a little training grounds. At level like 30, you get to just do something with them. It has a little bit of an instructional about how, you know, magic is in this world and it does this and that and the other thing. And it gives you a little bit of a taste of what this class has ahead of it. So that when you start at level 1, you know that you're not going to have this stuff right away, but you can see your potential. You can see what you have ahead of you in something that could take you, if you really don't care about it and you skip it, it could take you like a minute to just be like, yeah, that's cool, thank you. I'd rather the mystery, you know? Thanks for the intro. All right, cool, have a great day. Well, your portal is now complete and you just pop right out. But if you do want to go through the tutorials, let's say, they would actually teach you a little bit about each secondary to a degree. Like the secondary archetype of Bard adds things like trickling AoE heals or trickling AoE damage, or, you know, a minor trickle AoE of magic point restore. You can also add dance moves to the end of your sword flourish or something. Like if you have a super power swing of your sword, you can add the flourish skill to the beginning of it and you'll slide on your knees through enemies to smack the thing at the end of it, or whenever you choose to double click your mouse for the second part of the skill. And just kind of a little bit of a guide like that. It would probably take a good bit of development, but I think it would be really nifty. Like, so I'm not suggesting Intrepid that you pick this up right now, because scope creep, but in the future it might be kind of neat. Plus it would give people a better idea before they hit that secondary archetype, the choice they have to make, have a better idea on which way they want to go. With that being said, with the Bard, what do you think the 4 schools of enhancement are going to be for the Bard? I think it's going to be... I don't know. Because Cleric's already pretty much got the healing part. Like, that's their kit, right? That's their kit. I think it's going to be more like adding AoE to moves? Or adding group support features. Like when you smack somebody with your sword as a fighter, you end up spreading in an AoE area. You siphon out some of that life to your friends, but it's just a trickle. Maybe it's CC. Okay. Bards have, yeah, they do have a good bit of CC. They've got a good bit of CC. They have a good bit of... Man, they have a good bit of everything, and that's what was great about them. They can do a little bit of all the stuff for people, but nothing, from what I saw, as anything amazing and crazy. And AV says speed, defense, healing, and debuff. Okay. Okay, now... So... Let's see, speed, defense, healing, and debuff. The question being, do you think any of that would step on the toes of any other archetypes? Because if they're taking, your secondary archetype is going to matter and it's going to make a change in a big way, they might not want to make anything kind of step on the toes of another because somebody just says, hey, I want to be a tank, but I also want to have, you know, a little bit of healing. If they choose cleric, they're obviously going to have the better soul, like single person heals, but maybe if there is healing associated with the bard class, or the bard secondary archetype rather, it would end up being AoE only. Not really so much a single target heal to yourself or anybody else for that matter, but it would definitely have to be an AoE base. Just little buffs kicked out. Yeah, keyboard, I could see that. Not if they're augments. Example, the bard heals, but you'll still have a main healer. Well, yeah, for sure. But I'm just curious if they would allow, and as Yoni said there, the big question is how much overlap will there be between secondaries? Is how much would they want a bard to step on a cleric's toes when it comes to the choice of a secondary archetype for the healing factor? And let's see, Dio says anti-CC would be interesting. Breaking CC on party members during PvP would be epic. Actually, that would be pretty damn nifty. I think that would fall kind of nicely on a tank secondary, maybe. Because they apply, well, no, see, I don't know. If they are big at applying CC and zone control as a tank primary, as a secondary, maybe you're removing it? No, because I think they should probably stay within character, so to say. So yeah, probably still applying some form of CC and zone control as a tank secondary, but yeah. You might be right there, Dio. Yeah, breaking CC on party members might fall pretty well into the bard / cleric class, yeah. And Yoni says for bard versus cleric healing augment, maybe bard healing augment would be lesser and party wide, whereas cleric would be stronger and personal. Yeah, and there's that. Or even give some combinations maybe the opportunity to do a single target. Like, how cool would it be to have, say, a high sword, right? The fighter cleric. They have single target heals as a secondary cleric, but it's only towards, say, the one person in the most need, but it's a single target heal, and it's, say, if a bard is a 1 on a scale of 1 to 5 and a cleric is a 5, it gives like a 2. But it's a single target boost, or vice versa. If a bard is a 2, then it would give a 1 for a heal. Every time the fighter hits something, it gives like less than a bard's trickle worth of hit points to somebody, but it's a single target. It's gotta be neat. Yeah, because man, how bananas would it be if that were the case? Something like that. If you had the bard secondary that caused party-wide healing just a little bit every single time something occurred, be it a tick or whatever, and there was just a group of 8 fighters, all the bard secondary, just trying to plow through people, swinging as fast as they can. If there was a mod for swing speed, they did it, or a mod for anything that improved the ticks, either the amount or quantity of the ticks, and they just ran through, mowing people down, just chopping away. And if it was attack based, like every attack has a 10% chance or 50% chance to apply, you know, a 10 hit point proc of a heal for every second for 5 seconds. And they just mowed through, just everybody popping little ticking AoE heals on everyone. Little lawnmower action. Let's see. Secondary augments only enhance the first choice spells. Don't see it causing any problems. Yeah, and that's the thing, Avi, is trying to figure out exactly how it's going to augment them. Because we've gotten some examples, like there's the one Steven has always used since the dawn of time, with the fighter charge. And if you use it as a fighter, you charge, it takes you like a half second to jump from here to there because you're running really fast, and then you basically shoulder check them and they fall to the ground. If you have a mage secondary, you could augment that skill to instead blink over there, so it happens instantly and you shoulder check them to the ground. So it's the same skill, but there's something different about it that changes in a large way how it functions. In the end, it's the same skill, but in the middle somewhere there's something added to it. And, you know, balance will always be a thing, right? It's always going to be a thing. Trying to make sure you hit that perfect, you know, that balance point of having too much power or versatility versus not enough versus just it being in a weird place and you don't know if it's too much or not enough because of how it's applied. Yeah, I think you might be onto something with your speed, defense, healing debuff. Just have to wait and see. Man, I know. It's so hard to not speculate, but speculation at this stage is just it's almost dangerous, right? Because it's really fun to speculate, but we're actually getting right around the corner of the Alpha 2. And a lot of these questions can be answered at some point within the Alpha 2. Honestly, I think a lot of them involving secondary augments are probably not going to be until like 6 months or so into the Alpha 2. If not more, you know, there's no telling on if they're going to introduce all the primary archetypes first and then add secondary, or if they're going to introduce the secondary archetype stuff first and then they're going to finish out the primaries, and Rogue and Summoner are just going to wait for, you know, an entire year before they get revealed. But it's so fun, and it's so dangerous because you could get your hopes up for something and put out an idea that you think is amazing, and Intrepid is just like, no, we've got it figured out, we just need time to do it. We have it done for one class because we've done one secondary archetype and we've fleshed it out there and it worked amazing. So we know how it's going to be done. We just haven't done it with everything else. That could absolutely be what's happening in the background, and we'll never know until it happens. And by it happens, I mean them actually showing us legitimately, here it is. Now you can play with it. And Keyboard says, yeah, like a rogue with a bard secondary goes into stealth, dragging those close by into stealth as well. I mean, that very well might be how a rogue is able to hide their group, maybe. I don't know, maybe that's the way to do it. Maybe the bard, one of their schools of augmentation is AoE. I wonder if you could take an augment for AoE and add it to a skill that's already AoE, just to make it either stronger or have a longer or a wider range, I guess. Instead of being like a 5-yard circle, it ends up being 10 or 7 for that matter. And yeah, Yoni, it sounds like they haven't done much in the way of fleshing out secondaries, which to me is fine. I mean, they've had some other things going on with trying to figure out how to make things happen. And if they haven't had time to flesh out some secondaries, so be it. So be it. I personally, I've never ever assumed that this game was going to take less than 1.5 to 2 years in beta, or alpha rather, before it hits beta. And yeah, I'd rather have them hammer out the primaries and really build the identity of the primaries. Once the primaries have their solid identity, they know how they're supposed to be set, how they're supposed to be played, and they've really nailed it all down, then they can worry about secondaries. And I think the secondary stuff will fall into place a lot quicker at first. I think the balance is going to take a long time. I think the balance of everything is going to take a while. Have to finish the rogue first before they can do the augments. Yeah. For sure. Poor rogue. You would think it would just be a port of a fighter, right? Like port over most of the stuff and just add a few flares to it and adjust some dials, and there you go. You know, shorter range, smaller weapons, faster weapons, higher damage. add poison ticks, add some hiding in the shadows, and there you go. But starts with the same recipe as a fighter. At the beginning, your melee, and well, maybe lighter armor if you're going with the typical. But here's the other side of that coin, though. If in theory it could be basically a copy paste and just adjustment and fine tuning of things for flair and visual effects and theming. If it's taking so long to get it done, maybe it's because they're doing something super special with it. Maybe the rogue is going to be like the class everyone wants to be because of how they treat it in the end. Quirian and friends, welcome in, welcome in. Warrior, hello, hello. Welcome in, and Lloyd, thank you for the resubscribe, friend. Oh man, I just took a drink, so I'm gonna drink out of water because I haven't had a drink of water in a minute, and I like to drink responsibly. So cheers to you, friend. Don't leave the weapons at the door. Well, hey, that's fine. We can trust a few of you. Somebody's got to have a weapon in hand to enforce when the baddies do bad stuff. And so I gotta ask, Warrior, I caught like a little bit of your stream, or not your stream, but a Quirian stream over there, and you were talking about can't wait until they see the WoW raids, and you cheered about something at that time. What's going on with that? What's going on with that? Do tell, do tell. I've been lurking the Quirian stream for a good bit while I was setting up. And then while I've been hanging out here looking at this wonderful valley, talking to these wonderful people. Let's see. Tried Eagle Rare yet? Riptide, no, I have not. I have not. I've gone to the liquor store once, and they had a sale on other stuff that was too good to ignore, and I had to pick that up. It is on the list, and they do have it. I saw it, and I took note of it, and they have it on hand, so I will be going back for it, and I will be picking it up. Just not today. And welcome on in there, Pockets. Hope you've been having yourself a fantastic Monday. 1792 foolproof. Oh, lordy. Switch from YouTube to Twitch, maybe. Nice. Oh no! Since A2 is delayed, you, Pallywags, Lloyd, Cree, Vlad, Richie, whoever else gonna hop into WoW. TWW for raiding until A2. Oh my gosh. Friend, I wish you all luck. I wish you all luck, and I'm not being sarcastic with that. Enjoy, enjoy. I can't pick up the WoW again. I can't pick up the WoW. I have put down the WoW. I have taken my 12 steps of recovery. I finished all of them this time around. And so I should not pick it back up and say goodbye to all of that progress I've made. Made a positive impact in my life. Just not going back to the abusive ex. Yeah, maybe that's kind of the book the part I'm in, except I quit WoW a couple years ago. Oh yeah, absolutely. Enjoy it by all means, and I legitimately mean that. I can't do it again just because I have this thing where every time somebody mentions World of Warcraft and I'm like, that sounds like fun, let's do it, and then I only enjoy it for about a month and I go, oh, I hate myself for coming back again. Kind of like when you got that tub of ice cream in the fridge and you're like, wow, some of that tasted really good last time, let me go have some more, and you eat too much of it and you go, oh man, I shouldn't have done that, I feel terrible, let me put the rest of this back in the freezer. That's kind of how I get with WoW, because like the next day I'm back to like, you know what was really great is when I was playing that WoW. But that's just me. I know it's a quality game of some sort at least. Won't install Battle.net. I mean, I still have Battle.net installed because, you know, the Overwatch. I do the Overwatching every once in a while. I haven't learned my lesson with that one yet. But hey, maybe someday, if Ashes doesn't, you know what? There's probably going to be my promise of the future. If Ashes doesn't work out, I'll probably just go back to WoW again. But you know what's really cool about that statement is Ashes is going to work out, so I don't got to worry about it. I just need to worry about things to play until it releases. Hey, Rocklaw, welcome on in. Welcome on in. AV quit multiple times. Had a friend talk you into it again. Just can't get into it. Yeah, and it's you know what? And I think it's one of those things, especially nowadays, that people are starting to kind of get into that. Like there are other options or other things you can play. So you know, it's whatever. I know at one point it was like if you weren't playing World of Warcraft, you just weren't playing with your friends, and that was it. Like that's what all my friends were playing for multiple years in a row, so if I wanted to play with them, I had to play that. That was it. And tier 5? Or 5 of 8 tier 1 already. I don't know what that means, Riptide. I'm gonna pretend. I'm gonna pretend that I know and say that's pretty impressive. That's pretty awesome. But I really have no clue. Really have no clue. And keyboard says just have to worry about your secondary. Yeah, oh, tier sets and wow. Okay. 5 of 8 tier 1. Okay, I see. I connected the dots there. It took me a minute. But I caught up. Unless they had housing basil. Yeah. How in depth do you think that they're going to end up actually getting in Ashes for housing? One could only hope they get as good as Wildstar, but I have a feeling they're not going to. They answered some questions previously about that. People were asking about how customizable it was going to be, and I think there were some disappointed faces because it's going to be in depth. And it's going to have some options, but it's not going to have like that many options. Like you can't take literally anything you find in the world and turn it into a wall decoration. I don't think it's going to be that crazy. World housing will be cool. What you mean, like the stuff that's inside the node? The static housing, the ones that grow along with the node. Yeah, they did say it was going to be crazy in depth. Yeah, Basil. And Rocklaw says apartment housing will probably be just like BDO. I never, at least I don't think I ever really got into the housing with BDO. Is that something that's somewhat new in the past like 3 or 4 years? 3 years-ish? Because I think that's when Chibi and I tapped out, was about 3 years ago. We were in it for a good minute, and then we just kind of stepped away. Been around since launch. Okay. Yeah, I don't think we ever really bumped into it. We probably would have had some fun with it, but we also weren't terribly and wildly successful people in case it was something like Final Fantasy's housing system where you gotta have a gajillion dollars to afford one. Because then we probably, oh, no, I know what you're talking about. Okay. For some reason it didn't click. Because we picked it up in that one town. I'm trying to remember. But I think it was one of the first places we saw one of the towns that had a little dock next to it, like a beach and whatnot. And a bunch of farm fields out next to it. I know the farm fields thing doesn't help because that's in every town, right? But it was up in, I want to say, the northwest of the map. For some reason I want to say it was up in the northwest, but yeah, we had a little house there. Each of us had a little house there. But it was just a small little, it was a little shanty. big enough for, you know, a kitchen. And I could fit a bed in the other room. Velia, I think it might be right. I think you're right. That does ring a bell. I do know that the storage place was right there next to the docks. It was literally right on the docks, basically. But I had a little house that was, there was like the docks over here, and then right off the dock was a storage area. Right behind there was a road. On the other side of the fence from that road was the little auction house. Behind the auction house was my little house. That's what I claimed as mine. Let's see, Quirian brought up the Ranger CC break. Went off on it because of what we talked about on Saturday. Yeah. Yeah. So much movement. Demon Soul. I think everybody that I'm currently lurking is going to end up hopping on over. Welcome in, Demon Soul. Thank you so much for raiding over. Welcome everybody who came with Demon Soul. If you were over in Demon Soul's chat there hanging out, you've got to be a good person, so I welcome you into the tavern. Welcome to the Golden Feather. And I will give you a small cheers because my drink is almost gone. My glass seems to be broken. It's got a hole in the top somewhere. Can't seem to find it. But how you doing? How was your stream? I saw you were streaming some Fall Guys. As the bot has also given away. It has tattled upon you. But yeah, Ranger CC break was, yeah, we were just talking about a whole bunch of movement abilities and how some classes have some and some don't, and you know, let's give Ranger all of them. And I said, no, let's not do that. Some connection struggles. Yeah, I was having something a little bit earlier. I think it's basically resolved at this point, which is good. But it was pretty bad there for a minute as I was going live. Hey there, Death and Below. This is not Ashes of Creation. This is me playing Harry Potter, talking Ashes of Creation, mainly because there's no actual game to play for Ashes of Creation at the moment. So I just try to find something nifty to twiddle around with in the background whilst we chat Ashes stuff. It's about time to change the scenery anyway. Let's see. Well, yeah, let's go over this way. Wait, do I want to go this way? Yeah, I'll go this way. Where have I not been for a while? Yeah, I'll look at it from this side. Yeah, I'll look at it from over here. But yeah, Death and Below. There's nothing to really do at the moment with playing Ashes, so we just kind of put some background visuals on, something that looks kind of cool. And let's see. Demon Soul Game says, my stream is suffering horribly, don't know what's going on. Alas, I don't get to raid you often, so figured to leave your beans in my capable hands. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I will try not to let you down. I will do the best that I possibly can. And you're just having issues. Stream was lagging so bad. Picture quality was so bad. Yuck. Yuck. I had kind of the same issue when I was coming online. I mean, I kind of still see it a little bit. I usually try to bring my stream up so I can look at it and make sure I can watch it, I should say, and make sure it's working well and it's not doing terrible things. Earlier, I was having a heck of a time with dropped frames. It seems to have gotten better, so joy for that. So yeah, I feel your pain. I had to restart my computer while I was trying to spin up and go live. It's crazy. And yeah, Lloyd, this is kind of a mage archetype. It's this is the mage, the mage. Don't know what else to tell you about him except for he's got some silly sounding spells for sure. They sound normal until you get that double mage built up. Once you add that secondary, it just goes out the window. They start falling through chimneys and stuff. It's crazy. It's crazy. But you know, it's a fun time. It's a fun time. They use brooms and stuff. And yeah, Rocklaw got it down to a month. That makes us super happy. Now, how's everyone feel about that? How do you folks feel about the delay of 1 month? Granted, we don't know if it's going to be a full month, but we do know that it's been a delay with the apparent launch month going from September is what everyone was obviously feeling, because that's just, you know, if you just read around a little bit of chat around the community, everybody thought it was going to be September. And then suddenly it goes out to October. Because they were saying for a couple streams now, I think the past 2 months, that everything is on schedule, everything looks to be fine. But they did also say that, but there's always the chance of a delay. There's always the chance. You never really know. You can't predict the future. And Demon Soul says, rough, but alright, man. I'll pop back and possibly before you shut it down. No promises. Alright, Demon Soul, well, you have yourself a great night. Thanks for stopping in, and thank you for bringing all your friends over here. It's much appreciated. It's an honor. It's an honor. And thank you, Chibi, for checking on that. I appreciate you. Appreciate you much. No. See, you have it all wrong, Pocket. You have it all wrong, Pocket. I haven't been in this spot because I've been, for all the other streams, I was over here. Okay? And I was up in this area. And I was actually right here for most of the time. For most of them, I was up in here. So I've kind of just bounced around this little area. But you know what? I could go find something new. We'll go find something that people haven't really seen. Unless they played this game, of course. We'll go down and we'll visit this area down here. How do I mark something again? There we go. We'll go check this area out. Seems the same. I mean, it's looking at the same town. It's just looking at it from the back instead of the front. And okay, Rocklaw, yeah, that's kind of how I feel. And how a lot of people I've chatted with feel about it is we're okay with the delay. It doesn't need to come out immediately this month or bust, like that type of thing. I can understand the frustrations people have on a couple different levels, for sure. Doesn't mean I have to agree with them, but I do understand. It's one of those, like, we were hearing this and we were hearing that, and now it's different, and why is it different? Which is fair, but I've always been on the boat of, I'll be disgruntled when I hear about it, but take as long as is needed to make it come out okay. We'll worry about the exact date and how long it took later. For right now, just make it well, make sure it's done fantastically, and make sure that we're all going to love it when it arrives in our little hands. And Oracle says, this might be a harsh thing to say, but I think if anyone is complaining about a delay of 1 month, then they might have other problems to take care of. And that's fair enough too. I mean, I know there's some people that are just trying to, you know, stand there and make noise for the average person that doesn't want to make noise and all that. You know, make sure all the voices are heard by making theirs heard for other people and all that. So I can kind of see it all. Personally, it's in development, man. Any time frames stated, any features stated, any ideas, concepts, maybes, and anything like that, they're all theories at this point, and they all remain to be proven. So that's gonna kind of be the crux of it, is anything's up for change, anything's up for debate. There have been features and statements and whatnot that have changed in the past for the better or for worse, depending on how you feel about it. It has changed, so it's not going to be the first nor the last. Am I stuck again? Yeah, I think I went up against a wall. An invisible wall. But we shall see. We shall see. And Riptide, they found a doodad that was broken. The repairs item is on back order. Aw, man. Probably something similar to that. If it's not a doodad, it's a doohickey. And Penumbra says, get off the boat. It's sinking. I refuse. I'm on the boat till it does sink. All the way. If it's not sunken, I'm on it. Sinking is not a threat. Alright, let me do this. There we go. How's this? How's this? We'll check out a ruined castle with a kind of sea background to it. Here, from over here. From over here. Yeah, yeah. There we go. I'm even gonna take this little arrow away for you. Boop. Can I take the arrow away? Remove waypoint. Okay, there it is. Okay. So now we have a castle. A dilapidated castle. Alright. So let's see. Get off the boat. It's sinking. Wizzy says wave, 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 wave. Hello, Wizzy. Welcome on in. So nice to see you. Pocket says, heading out for the night. Pockets, you have a great night. Sorry I'm so late getting back to that. I had to move because you said the scenery was boring. Therefore, I had to fix it and make it look better. So I hope you see this later and know that I did indeed change it to maybe something that was more interesting. I don't know if this is more interesting to you or not. But here it is that we are. But I hope you have a wonderful day and you get some good rest. Hi, the number says anyone taking time off work for an alpha is silly AF. Servers are up when they are. The game is ready when it is. And Penumbra, I will at least say from the point of view of a content creator, the early part of alpha is going to be a very, very golden time. A very, very golden time. Anybody else outside of that, I would recommend not taking time off for the first week or two. If you're going to take time off for the Alpha 2, I would absolutely hang out for like the third week. Just because every game, whenever they bring it up, there's always issues in the beginning. And if you really, really want to take time off for testing, I'm not going to necessarily call you silly, but you should definitely not do it at the very beginning. You should let everybody else like bump into the issues, document what's going on. You can watch what's happening because all the content creators are going to be doing it. We're all probably going to be there solid for the first like 2 weeks. There's going to be content creators just live 24/7 on Ashes of Creation. New content creators, old content creators, people in the middle, somewhere in the middle. It's going to be, everybody is going to be streaming it. Everyone's going to be trying to play it. But let them experience the issues. Let them go through the problems and bump into all the little hiccups. And then a couple weeks in, then you can see kind of where it's at and feel it out. And then sure, if you really want to take some time off to test, do it. I'm not one to tell you how to live your life, live your testing life. But yeah, I would agree with you, Penumbra, that it would be silly to take some time off in the first couple of weeks if you're not trying to be a content creator or somebody who really needs info and really needs activity on what's going on right at the beginning for some reason or shape or form. Maybe you're really trying, maybe you're an RP guild and you're really trying to get into Ashes to start making some machinima of some kind or another. So be it. So be it. You really need to get in the game to enact some scenes as soon as you can, and you have a big guild event based on it. Sure, sure. Outside of that, yeah, it's gonna be a train wreck. Train wreck. And that's not necessarily because it's Ashes. It's because it's any game, right? Even the big dogs with their big money and their established IPs have issues at launch of anything, let alone something as sought after as Ashes. You know? Virtek is a mage inside. You know? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. But by mage inside, that means tank mage. Tank mage. Mage is the secondary. Look at that. I accidentally framed it out pretty well for a sunrise. And let's see. Oracle says, in AOC, the worst that would happen if you sink is that you would just rise from the ashes. I mean, maybe the worst thing I think that could happen if you sink is that your boat is now destroyed, and that's because PvP has occurred on the ocean and they now have all of your stuff. But I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. And yeah, day 1 is generally a wreck. Day 2 is generally a wreck. Day 3 is better. And day 4, most of them have it ironed out by day 4. I played WildStar on a little bit of the beta and then going into the launch. Yeah. I was able to hook in a little bit early. Man, I was on such a trip at the time when WildStar was coming out. I honestly didn't really care what was happening. I was just like, yep, things are happening. Bad stuff. You know, launch is not perfect, as is usual. Per the usual, as they say. Just so I can get a better angle on that. Get this in right in the middle. There we are. Here we are. It was good times though, I miss it. NCSoft, when are you going to sell the rights for the game to somebody for cheap? Okay? Because there's no way we're getting 700,000 people to play in this current year. But we can probably get a couple 100,000. I could see 300,000 people diving right back into WildStar if they were to just take it the exact way it was, spruce it up a little bit, you know, give it that launch day setup kind of feel, and just go. Another question being, do you think they should, if they were to do that, if somebody were to pick up the rights to that, do you think they should go back to the way it was launched or the way it was right before it closed down, like free to play with cash shop, or the $15 a month and you play the game? I feel it's kind of the same question that everyone's answered for Ashes, which has basically always come up with a resounding, I'll pay $15 a month. Right? I mean, you guys can speak to that at least. What would you do? What would you prefer for Ashes? Would you prefer Ashes Head? And this is going to combine multiple options here. So, the typical, you know, $15 a month, and that's all you pay. There is no cash shop. It doesn't exist. $15 a month plus a cash shop to support new features and faster development. Would you rather pay $25 a month so you can get the faster development but also no cash shop? Would you prefer free to play with a larger cash shop with some, maybe not pay for power, pay to win, but pay for convenience? So we got 15 a month with the cash shop. Okay, so you like it how it is, gotcha. And then Riptide 25 without. This 25 as is. You get the game and the game you play. And $0 are being spent on a cash shop because cash shop does not exist. And you know, thinking about it, if you think about it inflation wise, wouldn't it need to be around that to be equivalent to what a game was per month way back when MMOs started in like what, 95? I think it was what, like 96 or 95, something like that, when Ultima Online came out. And that was, I thought it was always like $12 or $13, but I was informed by somebody else that it started out as $8 or $9, I forget which. But then it rose up to 12 or 13. Now, if it was 12 or $13 back in 1999, I think I was playing. Yeah, 1999, 1998 maybe. One of those two. Then imagine 20 some years, 25 years, let's just say. 25 years of inflation and whatnot. That has to be closer to 25 bucks by now. Has to be. Or more from what you're saying, the Riptide. I mean, it's possible. I won't argue with it. You might know better than I. I'm just saying it should be at least 25, I would think. I would think. You might have it more on the head, though. I am correct. Oh, yay. Random number for the win. For the win. So yeah, 25 bucks a month is what it would feel like hitting the wallet in comparison to what it was back in the day. So all right, so my $24/$25, it was almost right in the middle of that. I like it. I like it. You like the plan model, having the option to invest deeper if you choose. Don't want to trade that investment with costumes to adventure in. It seems fair. And that's kind of where I'm at myself, because I like the cash shop idea. Because for one, it allows me to, if I want to further support a developer, I can. And if I do continue to like what they're doing, and I keep supporting extra, then that means every month I'm getting something extra in cosmetics, and I'm a cosmetic fiend, so there's that. But as you said, like if there's a month where just either you don't like the game developments inside of it, you don't like anything for any reason, including just the cosmetic itself, you just don't buy. If you just can't afford it, you just don't buy. Whatever the reason is, you just don't buy for a month and you go back to it, but you don't lose access to the game. And at the same time, you could take some time off, not pay anything at all, because you don't pay even the monthly subscription, come back and decide you want to dive deeper because there's this amazing patch that was put out while you were gone that solved so many issues that you bumped into before. Riptide. That's me too. The addictive personality. When it comes to that type of thing, all about it. But I tried my best to buy everything I could from the Ashes Cash Shop along the way till now that I thought I really, really liked. If I really enjoyed it, I would just up and, pick it up. And after a while, I'd say, you know what? It's got to be something really awesome. If it's something really awesome, I'll pick it up. If it's not, I'm just gonna ignore that there was a cash shop this month and just not pick up anything at all in any way, shape, or form unless it was really awesome. And at that point, I was able to train myself out of it, to be honest. And after that point, it was really, it has to be something really great, like really great. I really love that before I would buy it on the cash shop. That is 1000% a way to definitely avoid picking up too much stuff, is just don't look at the stuff at all, right? Just don't see any of it and you won't be tempted. You, sir, might be onto something. Oh, second thoughts about doing the gaming thing? And I would imagine you can still be like be a gamer, right? As long as you have stuff that works right now, there's always stuff on Steam you can pick up. And there's always free to play games out there. You can also always, granted, you're gonna maybe need to find, you know, a circle of friends that likes to do the same thing, but you could always do like I used to do. I used to quite literally, I would go through and find every alpha or beta game that I could, and I would play the bejeebus out of it. I would test it, I would tinker around with it. I would do random weird stuff and just enjoy playing a new game. And by the time the shine wore off, it was going to go gold, as they call it, or it would go live and it would have an actual launch and it would cost money. And I would say, all right, looks like I'm done with that one. It has a fee now. And I would put it down, I would walk away and go to the next alpha or beta game. And I hung out with a small group of friends who did that. And because of that, somebody always had a game that was coming out on tap. Somebody always had one. Whether it was good or not was a whole different story, but sometimes we had fun just getting into terrible games and playing them for no reason whatsoever besides it was just bad. I bumped into some interesting things. Nice. I am always exactly that happy to see you in chat, or on video, or when I'm in your chat. Because sometimes, yes, I will get in your chat. But welcome on in there, nice. Happy to see you, happy to see you. We're talking about the cost of subscriptions. I know this was a topic that was semi-hot not too long ago. But, you know, the difference between a $25 sub without a cash shop versus, say, the planned $15 with cash shop. And if a $13 or $12 a month game like Ultima Online back in the day, which I think launched in like 94, 96, I forget, maybe 96. If that were to have survived till today, and they kept increasing their fees like they did for a minute there, or what that would look like with inflation calculated, and Riptide calculated it to be around $24.52 if the game was $13 a month. So if it was just the same as it was back in the day, you'd be paying $24.50 a month just by default, without a cash shop, without anything. So I guess the number of people were throwing around, the 20-25 bucks for a game without a cash shop works about right. 24 a month is so much cheaper than yes. Yes, it is. Cheaper than leaving the house and going to buy a Big Mac. For the same reason that you would pay $30 a month or $30 within any given time to watch a single movie and popcorn because it's fun and it's worth it to you. But that's about it. Not many people pay it today because there's 9,432 games that have a free-to-play model that invite you to pay money because they try to get you addicted to systems by giving you some free samples. And then once the free samples wear out, you got to go to the cash shop to get more. Or they just put out crazy cosmetics that are super awesome looking. And so now you really, really want to go get that because you really like that character and you really want to play them forever. And so you go and buy that character skin just to look really awesome. But it's free to play, but that skin costs you 30 bucks and you're going to buy another one next month. So you're actually paying more than 25 bucks a month in the end. Yeah, that's how I looked at it, Yoni. It's ridiculously cheap for entertainment value. Even if you were to play 50 hours a month, 50 hours a month, and it was 50 hours or $50 a month, that's still $1 an hour. $1 an hour doesn't get you anything. Doesn't get you anything. Like, I can't think of anything you would pay $50 for 50 hours worth of entertainment, like quality entertainment with friends and everything, right? $1 an hour, that's crazy. But when you put that in front of somebody, like think about a single player game, right? If you were to go and buy a single player game right now that just came out yesterday or today. Okay, I mean, shh, we don't talk about the PC cost. We don't talk about the PC cost. But yeah, once you have the PC, yeah, if you were to say, you know, now that you have a console, which also is not cheap, right? But let's say you have a console and you go out and you buy the newest game and it's $50, $60, $70. And you're going to beat it within a month if that's all you play for, you know, 20, 30, 40, 100 hours, however long you game for. If you beat it in a month, you're going to have no game to play until you buy another one. So next month you buy a $50, $60, $70 game, right? You buy one game a month and you don't think too much of it because it's a solid game you can hold in your hand, or it's a console game, so it doesn't feel like that's a big spend because that's what you're used to spending. But $25 a month feels like a lot to pay for a subscription to an MMO that you're not paying any other money into. But it's really not. You're getting your $25 worth of entertainment and more because you're not playing those single player games for $50, $60, $70 each. Or you're like me and I buy them on sale and they're only like $20 and then I just don't play them at all because I bought them because they were on sale and I wanted to have them just in case, and the just in case never happened. And now I have a Steam library full of between $5 and $25 games that were on sale that were normally costing $40 to $80, but I got them because they're on stupid sale, and I still haven't installed them, let alone played them. Steam got it right. They hook you. They hook you. Summer sale is the devil. Summer sale is the devil. And welcome in, by the way, there, X Reserved. Thanks for stopping in. And yeah, $25 a month for a game, or skip one DoorDash order. And that's just the delivery fee and the extra money they add on the top because it's their website showing you the prices and not the actual restaurant's website. It might cost you $4 through the restaurant. It's going to cost you $7.50 if you go through the DoorDash app or the Uber Eats app. And then you also have the delivery fee on top of that. And then you also have the tip on top of that. But yeah, welcome on in, welcome on in. And as long, at least it's not like a console. I can do so much more than just game with the PC. Yes, 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 yes. That's why I can get away with saying, let's just not talk about the cost of the PC. Yeah. I'll play them soon, I swear. Reserved, I say that all the time. All the time. I look at it and I say, oh, that one? I'll get back to that for sure. Let me go ahead and click install now. And I click install and I come back to it a year later, year and a half later, 2 years later, when I look at my PC and I go, you know, it's about time for a reinstall. I'm looking through the applications on which ones I need to reinstall when I get the new computer set up and which ones I don't need to worry about. And I look and I say, I have 7 games installed that I have not once turned on. I'm going to not install any of these because I'm probably not going to turn them on. Yeah. And Wizzy, never DoorDash because of the price. They'll never get me. They'll never get me. You'll never get me, Dasher. Yeah. Bourbon and amaretto. That's the Godfather, right? I was curious what that was, but I didn't want to ask while you were potentially away from the desk, so I wanted to wait till you got back. Is it like a bourbon and amaretto? I'm guessing it's probably like a 3-to-1, like 3 bourbon, 1 amaretto, or is it like a half and half or something, or a 3-to-1? You're paying $510 an hour for a movie you get to watch once. Yeah, $510 an hour for a movie. That's a really good movie. It's a really good movie. And yeah, once you get snacks, they trick you into that bucket of cola and 6 pounds of sweet and sour gummies. Mm-hmm. That's great. That's great. All right, so 2 ounces of bourbon, a half ounce of amaretto. Okay, okay. You just do, okay, so you do a 2 to 1 instead of it's supposed to be a 4 to 1. Yeah, so you like a little bit heavy on the amaretto? Just lazy. Fair. Fair. It's like me with the old fashions. I just kind of go, you know what? Right about there looks good for the mix. Right up to there looks good for the bourbon. Toss some ice in there. I'm good. Drizzle the cherry juice in. Spritz it with the bitters. I'm happy. Close enough. Just put my 3 or 4 cherries in there and I'm happy. I think he just waved at a bird. You know, I don't know if you see it, but right in the middle of the screen towards the top, there's like something up in the cloud. I really thought that was something on my screen for a minute. Until I turned and it stuck there. I wonder if it's something, oh. It's something actually in the sky. What is this? Is that a... I found a bottle floating around in the sky. That's interesting. I mean, I can't do anything with it, but it's there. I mean, I can't even... I was trying to actually run into it and it won't let me. Yeah, it's taking me right around it. It's crazy. Does it say drink me? Alright, so how many ounces is even a shot? I think it's 2 ounces for a shot. I could be wrong. But I think it's 2. Football, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. I did not have too much for the bottle. No, it's crazy. Fupo, I don't know what time you came in, but I was hanging out down here and I saw it earlier and didn't think much about it. Because I popped over, I was hanging out like down here with just some good scenery, right? I was like, yeah, this looks kind of cool. We got the sunrise over there, we got this and that, and I just saw something hanging out in the cloud. Up there, like way in the top. Well, I'll put it in the middle now. But I just saw that, and I really thought it was something on my screen, like I had sneezed or something with like some bourbon in there. And I was like, wow, there's something on my screen. I'll clean it later. I don't need to clean it right now. And as soon as I moved, nope, it's following. And sure enough, just took a pop over here and it's hanging out. I think there's some guys drinking down below. You know what? We're gonna find out exactly what it is. See if there's like a table or something there. So... Boop. Okay, here we go. Whoops. No, 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 no. No! See, it's pushing me around. Okay, cool. Straight down. I'm probably gonna get in a fight, so I'm sorry.
I don't like the looks of that encampment.
It won't be long now before
And my
we
headset
find
decided to go to sleep right then. Oh, see, it's not even like a table directly below. It's not like it was supposed to be sitting on a table, but it's like the height was wrong or something. It's not even that. Oof. Oh my goodness, I got zapped. I would tap G to heal, but I can't. I'm on a broom. Yeah, it's literally just hanging out there, doing nothing. I kind of wanted to throw a spell at it, see if it would explode, but I can't do anything while I'm on the broom. I can do nothing. It's alright, me and the bottle just hanging out here, checking out the ocean. Sitting by the dock on a broom. See if you know that song. If you know it, you're old, I'm just saying. Hogwarts encouraged underage drinking and flying. That's terrible. Terrible and hilarious. So, to be fair, says Oracle, students can start by going to Hogsmeade from year 3.
I think you're muted.
Uh-oh. No, I think you muted me. I'm showing audio coming out.
Fancy I'll have my own operation worked out one day. People working for me.
Okay.
Just kidding.
Yeah, Wizzy says she thinks you're muted too. Hey, Jolas, thank you for the chime in there to help prove the Chibi is insane. Chibi's crazy. She's crazy. No. Thank you for trying to look out for me though. I appreciate it. Even if I wasn't muted, I would rather know, and you be right, or know that you didn't hear me and everyone else still hear me than not know and nobody hear me, because that's happened before. She's been here for that. We've been streaming for 2 hours and somebody finally tells us that our audio is messed up. Man, that stinks. But yeah, so to loop back around here, let's see. Is there liquor and butter beer? Wizzy asks. I don't think there is, to be honest. I think it's like root beer. Root beer and birch beer. I think it's along those lines. Well, let's put it this way. Every time I've bumped into it outside of the video games and the movies, it's been non-alcoholic. I haven't bumped into an actual alcoholic butterbeer. Watching the magic flow away. There you go, Fupo. You got it. Someone got it. Wizzy probably got it. She just didn't want to admit it. I heard him. Fat figured the Naga on YouTube. Good job. We're all crazy. We are following a game in development and getting very passionate in our discussions about said game in development. It's not out yet. The alpha 2 isn't even, phase 2 of the alpha isn't even out yet. We don't even have like the real meat and potatoes of what they're trying to do in our hands to test yet. And we are so very passionate about it. So yeah, we're all a little bit crazy. Just a little bit, at least. I guarantee. Make some adult butterbeer for the 24-hour. Oh my gosh, yes. Let's figure out how to do it. Some not for students butterbeer. Oh, okay. You just admitted it instead of okay. I gotcha. So you knew the song. You were just not saying that you knew the song. Fair. But also, to be fair, I liked Fupo's approach better. He added lyrics to it. He continued the jam. Wizzy, you failed the jam space requirements. You were expelled from the jam space. I'm sorry. You can now just listen through the door. We might leave it crack open for you though. Just a little crack. Oh, Wizzy. You're a winner in our hearts. I guarantee it. Alright, Bottle. To you, I say goodbye. If I could face the... Okay, face the bottle. Thank you. To you, I say good night. Goodbye. I shall see you again someday. The day is not today. Let's go here. Let's literally just hang out by the water. That we haven't done. Is my way. Wow, poor Wizzy, says Fupo. You can hang out over on my side over here, getting all bullied. What? You're not getting bullied, Fupo. I can't think of one person who would actually truly bully you. Alright, we're gonna do this. What is it? C to land? V to land? B to land? B to land. Like broom go away. We're gonna see what this looks like in the morning. Is there a sit? Can I just sit? Is there a sit? Is there a sit? No. I can look at my glowing book. Oh, okay, that's good enough. Let me do this. Here we go. Just like that. That looks good. Was saying was getting boilied. Alright, Oracle says, if it means anything to you, you can always put a smile on my face just by entering chat. Oh, that was way too sweet. That was way too sweet. I need something sour right now. This, by the way, is not way too sour. I was just thirsty. I need some sour in my life. Maybe some salty. Put some salty in my life right now. Ooh, chips. I have chips. Oi, oi, oi. But man. I don't think I'm ever gonna bump into another beer bottle quite like that one. Or wine bottle. Was that a wine bottle? That was a wine bottle. I don't think I'm ever gonna bump into a wine bottle like that one. Floating in the air like that. I'm gonna miss him. I'm gonna miss him. Miss him something crazy. You know? So someone tries to bully me. I either agree with their assessment and explain why they're right. You know, that always takes them by surprise. You know what also takes people by surprise? Think of your, or go up to your best friend, right? The person you've known the longest in your life. Look them dead in the eyes with a serious expression and just ask them, what's my name? They will stutter, stammer, and probably their brain will go blank for a solid 10 seconds. It's happened every single time I've tried it. When the person didn't know what trick it was. If they didn't know that trick, if I hadn't asked them that before, every single time it works 100% of the time. Just ask them, what's my name? The longer they know you and the more like close you are, the easier it works. Because they just kind of know you as, hey, you, yo, oh my god, hey, I have to tell you this thing. But rarely ever do they call you by name. So their brain just blanks out for a quick minute. It's a fun experiment. You should do it. You should do it. But for now, folks, whoops, I just jammed my mouse in it. It killed my beautiful foggy bay view. All right, let me take it off the game there. There we go. Called him by his name last night. Caught you both off guard. See, art moments like that, they're hilarious. They teach you how much you forget somebody's name, or at least you forget saying their name and calling like for them by name. Like, you may know them better than anybody else in the world, but you don't use their name consciously as much as you might think. So when you're called to think about it, or when you do say it, the other person, they may scratch their head too, because they're not used to your voice saying their name to call for them. It's weird. It's like the thing. I've been talking about this a lot lately, just because it's come up, but one of the big reasons that people get tired a lot when they vacation is that your brain, when you are in areas where you're very familiar with, you do have blind spots in your vision. Like, they do exist. You just don't see them because your brain is filling in those blind spots with things that it pulls from your memory. It's literally pulling pieces of imagery from the hard drive inside the deep parts of your brain and loading it into RAM so that you can see it at that moment. And it takes less effort than actually examining what's actually there and trying to pull it from that little visible piece and then refilling it in when you haven't seen that area before. So it drains your literal energy. The electrical energy in your body gets drained more when you're in a new place. Which is why a lot of people say, yeah, we went to this new place, we checked out this stuff, I passed out real early, so we woke up early. Well, yeah, you passed out early probably because your brain was dead tired and it shut down on you as soon as you got back to the hotel room and you relaxed. Because it said, yeah, I'm done, we're out. Phew. But yeah, for some reason that's been coming up a whole lot here lately. Funny how that happens. Hadn't talked about that little thing in like 3 years. Then suddenly, recently, it's like 5 times it comes up in conversation in the past, 2 weeks. But either way, folks, I think it's a little earlier than midnight, but I am going to end up tapping out now. I'm going to look for somebody to raid, because I have not looked through some channels right now, or in the past, say, hour, so I don't know who's still active. But if you know of somebody that you would like to raid over to, please do let me know. Otherwise, I am looking at So we have a Wicca Sloth. Wicca Sloth is playing some Tom Clancy's The Division. He is a very chill most of the time, but also very crazy metal guy. Yeah, Wicca streaming, playing some Tom Clancy's. One of the most genuine cool guys. Like, not cool guys as in like, yeah bro, but like cool as in like legitimately cool cat. But he gets super hype when people visit him, and he will talk Ashes any time of day, no matter what he's doing. And then there's Tech Deck 22. He's playing some Grand Blue Fantasy. Neither one of them have really done much Ashes content recently. Ooh, there's somebody else in the Ashes category right now? Ooh, I did not even think to check, to be honest. Who is it? Who is it? Oh, yeah. We're not going to that person. We're not going to go to that person. It's the I think it's a bot account that's just constantly playing something, like re-streaming videos and stuff. All the time, just kind of replaying a lot of other videos. And basically, if you look in there at any given time of the day, any day of the week, that person is in there. They are live. And the one time I popped in, it was literally a replay of, it wasn't even an Ashes of Creation video even. It was just, they had some other random game video. Yeah, Jack is stream. So I think it's a bot account and it's just doing something. I don't even know what it's trying to accomplish. Ash's Waiting Room 2.0. There you go. All right, well, as long as you at least know the name of the person, and that being the person we're gonna stream, Wicca, I'll probably just drop you right on over there. Talking about the other guy. The other guy is, there is no other guy that I saw. I just looked in there a moment ago, and all I saw was TGF Tavern, and I saw Jackie. Jackie's. That was it. Yeah, that's all that's in Ashes right now, Oracle. Like, I'm checking out Twitch, Ashes of Creation, and I only see that one. Oh, Ashes Waiting Room didn't even last a month. Oh no. Okay. Yeah, it may have been somebody that I had followed earlier too, or not followed, but at least pulled up as a lurk earlier. But yeah, okay, so yeah, we'll get you over to Wicca. Oh, AV Gaming. Okay. Yeah, Oracle over here confusing people. Okay, so AV did start doing the streamy thing. Okay. I'm gonna have to look him up real quick just to make sure that we are doing the following thing. AV Gaming. Alright. Yeah, yep, doing the follow thing. I just didn't look during the time he was online. But alright, well, thank you for checking, Oracle. Like, honestly, thank you for keeping me on my toes, because I never want to miss a new streamer, especially someone who's trying to do something interesting and nifty and is coming online new. We want to catch them. So I do appreciate that. I am, however, going to go ahead and move us over to Wickersloth, because I got more reaction out of Wickersloth than Tech Deck 22. So that's where we're gonna go. Do. Oh, look at that. Just as the sun comes up in Hogwarts. That's fantastic. Alright, the raid has been created. Hey, that happens there, Oracle. That happens. It's happened to me a couple times. Like, hey guys, check this thing out. And then they're gone. Well, thank you for hanging out. Much appreciated. Thank you for the conversation. Royer, you have yourself a swell night as well. Get some good rest whenever you land there. And Lloyd, you poof away as well. Good night, you lovely Lloyd. I mean, Lloyd, you lovely Lloyd. You have a good night. And I will catch all of you around the next time. I do appreciate your time you spent here. As always, you do not get refunds, so do not ask for one, but we hope it was worthwhile. Anyway, take care everybody, and bye-bye.